become men. How about number 2? Defense mechanisms. Who came in here with your luggage and your ID and you was an invisible contractor. And you started building, you had cement, invisible bag of cement, and an invisible bag of bricks. Invisible bag of cement, and invisible what? Bricks. Cement, more bricks. Cement, more bricks. And you start building a what? Walls. And behind that wall is ammunition. And one is what? Inappropriate humor. We talking about the mascot. How about argumentiveness? Who in here makes small things big things? Nobody like that in here? Nobody? Come on. Come on. Who in here like to argue? Yeah, we got a new hand. Come on, what's your name?
I'm Brian.
Hey, Brian, what's up?
I'm everything you're saying right now.
Yeah. Why you like to argue, brother?
Well, I don't know. Because I got a lot of anger in me, I think, sometimes.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Are you working on it?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, so that's good, bro. How much time you have clean?
22 days.
All right. Hey, I was a house manager, right? And I used to, come on, John.
I just wanted to, look, I was trying to recall, but yeah. I'm like, I ain't got no 2.5 months. My clean date is April, not March.
Okay.
It was April 24th, 25th, or 24th, something like that.
Okay. Thanks for saying that, brother. Right? Getting it right, okay? Getting the numbers right.
Getting honest.
Getting honest. That's right. That's recovery.
Okay.
Hey, I will always argue because I wanted to get high. So that was what? My mask. That was my alibi to get high. To keep the focus off of who? Me, and put it on who? You. Why is he house manager? He always, listen, he's asking all the newcomers for cigarettes. He don't go to group. He don't got a goddamn NA text. He's chasing all the girls in the program. His room dirty. He taking people medications. The Negro got the nerve to have my goddamn food stamp card. And we haven't had no pancakes yet. No waffles. Listen, no spaghetti. No fried chicken. It's that old stuff deep down in the burrow. I don't want that. And I used to always buck and beef in recovery programs because that was my mask. And it worked for a few people. But that's how I always heard it who? Myself. Argumentiveness. It's the smoke screen. It's the brother who always argue. Oh, girls. Who know my women like that who come from chaotic homes. So when there's no trouble, guess what? They bored. And they don't feel right. And they uncomfortable. Right here in self-help. You come from arguing and fighting every day. And then come in here where it's peaceful and people respectful. That's unfamiliar. Mm-hmm. So unconsciously we will start trouble. Mm-hmm. Anybody like that in here? Mm-hmm. Let's keep moving. Yeah. All right. Somebody lying. Somebody lying. Pay attention to the room. Hey, behind the wall that we created, we insulated, yes, but we also in a prison. Emotional termites. Who got them? Emotional termites. Who got them? Number 1. Termite number 1, doubt. Termite number 1, doubt. Who doubt that this process can work? Who doubt themselves when you leave here that you'll stay clean? Anybody? Who doubt the process? Yo, he dolphining. This process don't work. He lying. This process don't work. He signing out on bogus appointments. Process don't work. Yo, the clients here, they more crazy than the staff here is more crazy than the clients. You don't know who's who. Process can't work. Listen, man, we don't have groups like we should. This process don't work. This dude's still clean and crazy. Drive drunks, walking all through the building. This process can't work. And people who don't live by faith, they deal with sight. And if you don't see it, you think. You don't believe it. It can be done. Anybody live in doubt? That's termite, number 1. To live in doubt. Who doubt themselves? Who get on the phone, the hot box, and your family members or whoever on the other end of that phone give you doubtful commentary. You gonna come home and are you gonna be back in jail? You know your kids was crying for you last night. And all that goes up into the mind. And you go back to what we used to do and what we've been doing and what we used to do. and what we've been doing and start regurgitating and start rehearsing that stuff in that mindset and becomes catastrophic mindset. And if you're pessimistic, you think as a failure and you become a failure. How we think is what we become. Mindset is very important. Listen, who in here remember being on the streets of Kensington, North Philadelphia, South Philly, etc., with money in your pocket? And when you was green, and who doubt the fact that if you give another man your money to go cop for you, he'll come back? Nobody been there before?
Hey, look, I ain't got shit. You wasn't getting my money.
Yeah, but it took me a while to get there. I had to get burnt first. Yeah, I had to get burnt first. Then I caught myself.
Like that.
Huh?
I grew up like that.
Yeah, I had to get burnt. Then, you ain't getting my money. I'll do it myself. I'll take a chance to get locked up. That's how it was. My man, thank you for saying that. Hey, who's confused in here? That's another emotional termite number 2. Confusion. Anybody confused in here? Should I stay here or should I leave? There ain't no bars on these windows. Nobody listen. I can leave when I get ready. But should I stay here? And my lady calling me to come home and the bills is stacking up higher and higher and higher and higher. But I'm sick and deep sick and truly sick. And what do I do? And my faith ain't strong in my higher power. I used to be an atheist. Now I'm an agnostic. I don't know what I believe. I'm in doubt when it comes to my higher power.
I'm a stick and stay.
Stick and stay. Anybody confused? Should I get with my kids or leave my kids where they at until I get daddy together? Should I stay broke and get myself together? So when I do get that job, when I get that first check, I won't go stupid. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Confusion. How about anxiety? Termite number 3, anxiety. Who in here can't stay still? Who mind is in next day, next week, next year? Anybody? Anxiety. Who remember when AIDS tests used to be 14 days? Y'all remember that? And I used to have anxiety because I was sexually Thank you. And I was sexually reckless. And when I went to go get that test, I was scared I would not show up for no AIDS test. But I went one day and I had to sit still and I paced and I had anxiety for 14 days. And I started going through the black book and papers and mental familiarity on all the women. And I find out if that test come back what? Positive, I'm going to kill somebody. So for 2 weeks, I had a lot of anxiety. All right, anxiety. Anybody got anxiety about anything? That's big. All right, how about fear? Fear. How many men got fear issues in here? Come on, what you afraid of?
Man, everything.
What's your name?
Ryan.
Ryan, what's up, Ryan?
What's up?
What's going on?
Yeah, man. So I was that's how I grew up. See, Dad was an alcoholic. He was crazy on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, man. Throwing shit and yelling and screaming, calling mama fucking whore and all that shit in the house. Shit all flying everywhere. But like I would hide under the bed. You know what I mean? Like I was a baby at 8, and all my brothers and sisters would just throw me under the bed. And that's what they did. Where's Ryan? I don't know, he's down there. Whatever. But my dad used to line us up. All of us. Snap the belt. You know what I mean? Somebody go get it. And he'd be drunk. He'd be falling asleep around 1:30 in the morning, and they would just scoop my ass down. But look, I pissed the bed till I was 14. I sucked my thumb until I was 15. All insecure, scared to death. But when I had that drink at 9,
At 9,
all that shit went away. That fear went away. Now,
you hear that?
Now I can talk. Now I can walk. Just beat me. I'm running, motherfucker. You know what I mean? I'm running. I want to hang out with the big boys now because I ain't afraid of being around the big boys. And I want to drink all that hard liquor because I ain't afraid to drink all that hard liquor no more. I ain't scared to fight and I ain't scared to call you any kind of name I want to call you and disrespect you. That's just how I grew up.
Okay.
Scared to death. Big man, scared of the dark.
How much time you got clean now?
37 days.
Give it tall. Good. You did roots. My man. Thanks for sharing that. Come on.
Yusuf. I used to fear my mom when I was coming up.
Fear mom.
My mom, she used to tear my ass up, broomsticks, extension cords. She used to do it all to me. And I actually left home when I was around 15,
Uh-huh.
and I left because I was hustling and whatever. So I couldn't talk to her on the phone or nothing because when I did, that fear still would come into effect because then it was verbal abuse. You know what I'm saying? And after hearing her, well, just being small when she was first doing it, and I used to go to school, elementary, and just do something to somebody else because I couldn't do nothing to her. You know what I'm saying? So as I got older, and when I left, it was the verbal abuse. So if I called just to hear my mom's voice, you know what I'm saying, to see how she's doing, then she might curse me out, you mother effer, this and that. So I go take that out on somebody. So at 20, I went to the state penitentiary. So I started asking my mom questions because I wanted to grow. Of why she used to do these things to me. So my mom would send me money orders. Won't be a letter in there. I didn't wrote my heart out. You know what I mean? Won't be a letter, but a money order. So I came to realize that her evilness couldn't answer what she was doing to me. You know what I'm saying? And my grandma closed that book for me because when I finally got to my grandma and asked her, like my mom used to do this and do that, and she said, Joseph, you want to know why? I said, well, why, grandma? And she said, that's because of what men used to do to her. And that was the closest thing to her because I'm her oldest child. So that allowed me to close that book. And today I love the death out of my mom. Talk to her on the phone, and I don't fear her no more because when I got to jail, I found the law. And that's who I'm supposed to fear, nobody else. So that's how I live today. I fear no one but the law. And that's a good thing. And I also thank my grandma for closing that book for me as far as my mom, because at that time I wasn't loving my mom. I thought she was the devil. And that's so real because the way she used to physically abuse me. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's just a great thing today, you know what I'm saying? And however, in my addiction, I probably would call myself, they say, revenge by, stealing from my mom. And that wasn't doing nothing but hurting me more so than hurting her, you know what I'm saying? Because she actually was loving me still in a different way when I was stealing from her. You know what I'm saying? And how they say that mother love, I guess it changed her some way, so I became the devil more so. That monster, you know what I'm saying? And didn't see that my mother was willing to love me no matter what. And I wasn't willing to love her no matter what. So today though, like I said, yeah, I love my mom to death. We talk when I get on the phone. And one day I actually said to my mom, I love you. And she said, boy, you want to know what? And I said, what? She said, you're my only child to say that to me. And I cried. I cried because I know she took us all through hell, but I got the worst of it. Yeah, I got the worst of it. And, so I thank the Lord for allowing me to find him and to know that I don't have to fear nothing that walked this ground like I walk. And I'm thankful for that.
Okay. Good food, brother. Thanks for sharing that. Fear. Right. Healthy fears. Like, I have a healthy fear when you, because I can't talk to you like I talk to him. Can't talk to you like I talk to him. Can't talk to John like I talk to Yusuf, right? You gotta know brother's temperament. And sometimes what I say to you might make him pissed off, or make you laugh, might make him cry. So you gotta know who you're dealing with, who you're living with. So I have a healthy fear with that situation on social contact.
Yeah.
All right, that's real important. All right, some brothers play too much. Anybody here play too much? They don't know when to stop playing. Then when you get serious, then it can get real nasty. How about power and control? Let's leave that alone. Let's talk about women. Power and control. How many guys here used to be abusive or still is abusive? Who used to be and still is abusive? The terrorists. Abusive.
You talking about like verbally as well?
Yeah, verbally, emotionally, sexually, financially abusive. Power and control. That plays a part of active addiction too. People who clean and crazy, they what? They never change, don't want to change. They want to stay that same monster, and they become the terrorists. If I can't have you, nobody else will. Anybody think like that? Be honest. Nobody? Who used to be a stalker? I used to be a stalker in bushes, car seats, all that. All right. Grocery stores. I almost jumped in a dryer. I'm lying. I'm playing. Terrorists. All right. If I can't have you, nobody else will. Who know people that got murdered behind that? Murder, suicide. You know people like that? Yes. Cats taking out families over a woman that you can't control. How about the drill sergeant? Protocol. How many brothers timed a woman? It don't take you that long to go get no goddamn eggs. With no hair weave. Where were you? One girl, she said, listen, she was so scared and frantic. She said, my boyfriend, he read receipts on everything I bring home to make sure I was where I said I was. He stick his head in the car and read the mileage on the car. Nobody get crazy like that. People who worship people get crazy. How about the player? Who been hurt so you play? Been hurt as a boy so you play as a man. Let me say that again. Hurt as a boy so we play as men. Yes. How many men here let women know you playing? I'm just here for the cookies. I don't want your heart. I don't want your pain. I don't know about your fourth step. I don't care about where you're going and your aspirations and all that. I just want the cookies. Any cookie monsters in here? Yeah, listen, if anybody play with people, you know, people must play with people's feelings and emotions, you can get killed behind that. Is that true? Yeah. That's real. All right, players. Players been hurt. All them pimps. You see them pimps outside with them big ass shoes on back in the day. Anybody been to DC? My man DC, right? I told him I went to DC. We used to go to strip clubs of DC. I forgot the name of that strip club. They was a penthouse week, but look. You go there, we drove all the way from Baltimore up here. We can't touch them. You cannot touch the stripper. I said, I'm out. The hell we come here for, right? I know that. But this was like the 90s, right? We couldn't touch the strippers. Like they didn't play that, right? But coming out of the place, I said, yo, look at that pimp right there. I couldn't believe you're a real pimp. Right in front of my eyes. A pink fur on. White boots. A yellow caddy. I couldn't believe, yo, yeah, for real. And yo, and like I said, psychological damage women. How you gonna put your life on the line, put her life on the line that's gonna have sex with a stranger, almost get killed and get beat up and bring that money back to the pimp.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's deep.
Players. Any players in here? I wanted to be a player. Listen, I'm a counterfeit pimp. That's what I want. Counterfeit pimp. How about mentally ill? Who hide behind a diagnosis? Who hide behind a diagnosis? Who know if you date a woman who's on the books? The courts know about her what? Her psychological what? Well-being. And if she hurt us, you know she can walk? If a woman's on the books, as mentally disturbed, bipolar, tripolar, schizophrenic, 302, 201, etc., on the books as mentally ill. They said, check the cabinets. You better find out who you're dealing with. What's in the medical cabinet? The mentally ill. Voices told me to kick you down the steps. Or to stab you up, the mentally ill. Hiding behind a diagnosis. Power and control. For anybody like to read, Lundy Bancroft is where we got some of these characters from. Inside of the minds of angry, controlling men. And it talks about a lot of different abusive men, right? Lundy Bancroft. Thank you, brother. Lundy Bancroft. Power and Control. All right, for those who like to read. Good book, man. And he got one for kids, too. Because kids been through a lot of abuse, too, and how it affects little kids psychologically. Let's talk about anger. Who suppressed their anger, then explode later? Who suppressed, then explode? There's a guy at Cadenzia.